Hi, everybody. Good morning, GM. I think it's still, yeah, it's 11:54. GM, everybody. Hope you're having an excellent day so far. My name is Anthony. I am the growth lead at Gunzilla Games, and it'll be my pleasure to talk about Gunzilla and the way that we've decided to approach building our blockchain ecosystem designed for AAA gaming and the gamer experience. So a little bit about myself. I actually played esports professionally as a semi-pro for over a decade, either competing as a player or a coach. And my career started in Counter-Strike 1.6 back in 2007, 2006, and progressed through Counter-Strike Go and the Valorant series. Along the way, I've dabbled in a wide variety of games, but my bread and butter has always been with tactical shooters. And early on, there wasn't a lot of support from big tech like you see now and energy drink companies, and everybody competing at the top level accepted that they might not want to quit their day jobs. So many players, even back in the early 2000s, were already recognizing the potential of a digital economy underpinning these games and the potential value creation they could bring. I started in the Web3 space several years ago, primarily working with L1 and L2 blockchain ecosystems. Most recently, I worked with the SWE Foundation during its 0 to 1 phase last year, and also represented them as the partnerships lead. My experience working with ecosystems has offered me a thorough understanding of how ecosystems function, their priorities, and their unique go-to-market strategies. My fascination with the intersection of blockchain and gaming has always been there due to my gaming background, but I wasn't really convinced that anybody was seeing the full picture of what would be needed to bring big-time game studios into the mix until I met the Gunzilla Games team. So a little bit about Gunzilla. For those who aren't familiar with our ecosystem, I'm going to break down some of the moving parts. Overall, Gunzilla Games has over 260 team members across all of its appendages, and our team is spread across Frankfurt, London, Kiev, Los Angeles, and Vancouver. Our co-founders, I'm not going to go over all 266 people. I'll just go over our co-founders. The Gunzilla team is composed of the best and brightest visionaries, technical minds, and entrepreneurs to make this project happen. Vlad, our CEO, is a serial entrepreneur. He founded the biggest matchmaking app for gamers called Plink, which currently has 16 million users and has generated over 100,000 matches between gamers. He also founded Blackwood Games, which is the developer of the AAA free-to-play shooter Warface, which amassed a whopping 150 million users and generated $1 billion in revenue. So as a founder, Vlad understands the deep desire that gamers have in finding their peers and fellow enthusiasts, as evidenced by his creation of Plink. And we strongly believe that creating an environment that fosters community, collaboration, and cooperation is the key to building a long-lasting community and a strong ecosystem. Alex, our other co-founder, previously worked as the CEO for Crytek Kiev. He did that for over a decade, and then co-founded Blackwood Games with Vlad. They both share the common trait of having a rich entrepreneurial background and have always created companies to solve a wide variety of challenges in the gaming industry. And with Gunzilla Games, they are looking at Web3 and how it can solve a lot of the critical components in the gaming industry. Last but not least, you might recognize that guy, Neil Blomkamp. He is the co-founder and chief visionary officer. He's an Oscar-nominated director, screenwriter, producer, best known for his production of District 9, Elysium, Chappie, and Gran Turismo. So Gunzilla Games is much more than a game studio. Not only do we build incredible games, but we also are building the supporting infrastructure for it. So here on the screen, we have the two core platforms that we're currently working on. Off the Grid is a AAA game with Web3 mechanics and a blockchain underpinning. We'll talk a little bit more about Off the Grid later. And the other product is Gunz, our gaming-specific chain based on Avalanche. Gunz was specifically built as a blockchain platform for AAA games, something that hasn't really existed previously. So this is our thesis. So I present you Exhibit A, the self-operating napkin. So you have our gentleman here who has created a highly complex and advanced tool to allow for his hands-free operation of his napkin. I think we all recognize the brilliance of his innovation, but we also see that perhaps he is over-indexed on a solution that may be difficult to replicate, and we can assume that the onboarding process might pose some challenges for him. So we think that the gentleman probably could have just used his hands and picked up his napkin and wiped his spill himself. This is the way that we're looking at modern blockchains. The current selling proposition is having the highest TPS, efficiency, and security, and this is undisputable. This is the most important. These are the most important characteristics of a blockchain, and they need to be. But right now, most chains are building for a problem that doesn't exist. Having 100,000 TPS without any users or applications means that you've solved for one part of the equation, but you might be missing the other critical component. Having tier 1 applications in your ecosystem that can truly test the limits of your infrastructure. I'm going to play a video now.
Validators, are they taken care of well? Do they get a cut out of your fee?
Yeah, sure. They get looked after real good.
Okay.
Pretty cool, right? I actually have another video.
You actually, customize your own character. It's more like an RPG, more so.
Nice landing. Ugh.
Okay, so that is off the grid. Get a little taste of our narrative campaign and our actual gameplay. This is our problem as defined by my previous slide. With a single high-quality application, our ecosystem will have more users and real on-chain activity than the majority of well-established ecosystems and chains have today. Off the Grid is a AAA next-gen battle royale extraction shooter positioned to be the first game ever supported by blockchain and Web3 mechanics on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox stores. We're delivering a blend of narrative and competitive third-person shooter experience on Unreal 5. This game has been in development for 5 years in the making, and from the early stages, blockchain was integral in the design philosophy of Off the Grid. You might be wondering why I'm talking about a video game during our L1, L2 segment, and why I didn't do this yesterday at our Games Day, but I will get to that now. The question becomes, how do we keep our users engaged as they jump from in-game to looking at the assets and the on-chain data? Introducing Gunzilla. So at the heart of Gunzilla Games innovation lies Gunzilla, an advanced layer 1 blockchain solution designed to revolutionize the gamer experience interacting with a blockchain by offering a beautiful UI and frictionless experience. Gunzilla was developed to address the limitations of traditional gaming systems and powers the economy within Off the Grid. We're empowering gamers with asset ownership where they have the freedom to buy, sell, trade, and use their assets as they see fit. We're building for the future, and because of our deep background in gaming, we understand what game developers and gamers want from a blockchain experience. We aim to extend our influence to other AAA games, showcasing the new era of enhanced player experiences across the gaming landscape. What makes us unique is that Gunzilla is a product-focused chain that optimizes for the best end-user experience, specifically gamers within the Gunzilla ecosystem. So, a few of our features, we have our hex cubes, our NFT validators, our visualized block explorer, block scanner, our Gunzilla wallet, and our NFT marketplace. So, our wallet. Wallet creation is often a pain. Seed phrases are not something that is very Web2 friendly. So we're finally beginning to see innovations in account abstraction and friction reduction. Our wallet offers both features. A simple wallet solution that offers the ability to create a wallet instantly with email or simply by playing Off the Grid on any of our supported consoles. So what does that mean? It means that hundreds of millions of players that play Off the Grid, whether it's on console or PC, will all have a Gunzilla wallet. So that is hundreds of millions of users embarking on their Web3 journey for the first time without even realizing it. And the best part about Gunzilla is these players either have the ability to not interact with that experience but still enjoy the benefits of it, or they can choose to opt in and take advantage of all the benefits that we have within our infrastructure. Within the Gunzilla wallet, you can look at your assets, connect to marketplaces, trade your NFTs, check your transfers, store gun tokens, and all of this can be done within our game platform. The next is our marketplace. So we did build our own in-app marketplace. So in off the grid, you can actually trade directly within the game, which means our players can go directly from playing to trading in a snap. Now to some of our special on-chain assets that you can find within the Gunzilla ecosystem. So hexes are our ecosystem's version of loot boxes, only we've designed them in a way that makes them much more flexible and valuable than typically seen in gaming ecosystems. Hexes can be extracted from playing off the grid or our other titles, and through a complete immersion and dedication to playing in our world, our players can feel both a sense of accomplishment and excitement that their experience of getting valuable assets was done without compromising the integrity of their playing experience. Hexes can be opened and offer a wide range of in-game assets, from robotic limbs to weapon skins that can be used either in-game or directly traded in our marketplace. The potential of hexes is quite extensive. So we could see a world where someday these cubes live in multiple worlds in the Gunzilla ecosystem, farm them in one game, use them in another. Our hexes are also multi-chain compatible thanks to our integration with Layer 0. Shout out to the Layer 0 team. They were excellent working with us on Games Day yesterday, which we co-hosted with Hashkey. Special thanks to Kenny for showing up to and doing a keynote as well. Currently, we're discussing the potential of on-chain randomness for our hexes as well. We're always interested in pushing the limits of our blockchain design. So the next innovation that we bring to the table is our validator NFTs. Our validator NFTs are solving the issues of centralization on a network by having user-owned NFTs that facilitate transactions on the Gunzilla network. NFT validators actively connect our active and our passive players in a way that's never been done before. So players in off the grid can earn hexes and weapons, and all trades, hex openings, and transactions happening on the network are supported by these NFT validators. So these validators get paid directly by the gamers for minting in-game items, meaning that our players support each other, both passively and actively, with their assets in a way that we haven't seen before. Last but not least, our visualized block scanner. So the thing that brings it all together for us is our visualized block scanner. So Gunzilla's block scanner brings all of the assets, transactions, and people in the Gunzilla ecosystem to life. So our entire blockchain experience, as I mentioned, is built to offer the best gamer experience, and that includes ensuring that when our user wants to see what's happening under the hood, even that is a rewarding experience. We don't want our users to check their trade and see, a blank page with a bunch of numbers on it. We want that information there too, obviously, but we want to make it a little bit more exciting. So the block scanner reads each user's Gunzilla wallet. It shows their profiles, if applicable, their assets, their images, and when you check any transaction that happens on the network, you can actually see what assets are being traded. If you're opening up a loot box, you can basically see that loot box, the item that is minted, and you can also see the PFPs of the people involved. So for every single transaction, you get to see, you get to put a face to that transaction and that occurrence happening on our chain. A final note. So for anybody who is interested in exploring testing our chain or our ecosystem, our off-the-grid game will be launching very soon. Can't say when exactly, but all I can say is very soon. But we do have a testing environment called Technocore. It's a drone extraction game, very simple, where you can actually extract assets that can be playable in off-the-grid. So if you would like to get involved in our ecosystem and ahead of the main game launch, you can go check out Technocore on iPhone or on the iPhone or Android stores. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you to the Hashkey team. It was incredible hosting Games Day yesterday and shedding more light on how we view the future of Web3 gaming and the innovations in the space. Feel free to scan the QR code if you want to learn more about our platforms. You can find us at Gunzilla Games on Twitter or at Play Off the Grid. Our Gunzy Twitter is at GunByGunzy. And if you're interested in chatting more about Gunzilla or the things that we're doing, you can find me or some of our teammates at the Gunzilla booth over at E13. And you can find me on Twitter at 0xClablegs if you have any questions. Thank you.